Hi guys, it's me Karen. Welcome back to my channel. I had a couple of questions on the last video I did on all my pencils about the Castle Art and Arteza pencils. And the question was, which do you prefer, the Arteza or the Castle Art? Which one has best colors and better selection? What papers do they work on? That kind of thing. I'm going to do a little disclaimer here. I happen to be able to color with every color set that I have. I do not really prefer any color pencil set over another pencil set except for the Prismacolors. They were my first pencils that I got. They were my first ones that I, fell in love with and I started using a lot. So I understand those pencils the most. When I started to collect other pencil sets, I was still in the kind of range of getting the same kind of level. So they are all artistic colored pencils. So from the wax-based pencils, I went to an oil-based pencil, which I find harder for me to use, just because of the condition of my wrists. We're going to put it that way. They're harder for me to color with. I have to hold the pencil harder or something, and it takes a very long time for me to get finished with a picture. So it'll take more than the normal amount of time, probably by double or triple, just because I have to take a lot of breaks. So then I went back to, of course, my Prismas, which I love, but wanted to try some other pencils out because some sets have different colors. Some sets were told, I was told were, really nice, and I just wanted to try them out. And when you start your coloring experience, you like to dabble in other things. Okay, so I have both 120 set of the Castle Art supply and the Arteza. These are the color charts that I have for them. If you'll notice, the Castle Art supply set does not have names in my set. I assume they do now, and I've seen them in, I believe, the UK, where they actually sell them in their own pencil case, and they have names on them. So I assume that I could possibly get online and find out their names. I just don't have any desire to do that right now. I have other things on my plate. So I'm going to show you the colors that they have, and this is starting in the yellows and going to the reds and oranges on both sets. This is how they come in their tins. I just go and make a color chart as they are in the tins. After I'm done making those charts, if I want to rearrange them in the pencil case and want to make a new chart, then I will. Usually not, because I know what their colors are, I know their names, I know their numbers, whichever way it works. Okay, so I'll just set this I have a page here that I'm going to use to color with both of those on in that book. Castle Arts has a nice selection of the yellows, goes down to here. And we've got some like the little tanner colors down on this side. Pumpkin orange probably can be found over here somewhere. So there's a little bit of difference between the way I colored these. These I went this way, this one I just went across. Okay. You will also see a little bit of pigment difference probably. I pushed heavy down on this side and went light on this side, and this I basically pushed hard here and then lightened it this way. But you'll notice that some of these are just a little more pronounced on the Arteza side. Artezas are extremely soft. These were soft also, but not as soft as these. I will get out one of each. Let's see, I'll have to get, what is number 16 over here? It's kind of an orange color, so we'll get out a pumpkin orange in the Arteza set. Maybe if I can find a pumpkin orange. It's blood orange. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. What I'm going to do is get out 2 different sheets of paper, if I can manage this. I think I would turn the camera off and then get everything I needed, but no. Okay, there we go. Now, the first piece of paper here is thinner. It is a printer paper. Not quite as thick as what this is written on, but kind of the same. This one is cardstock, and it is this cardstock here, Paper Accents 150 sheet premium cardstock paper, bright white, 110 pound weight. It's pretty thick, smooth as a piece of glass probably, but we're going to use those to put down these 2 colors. Okay, this is, I'm going to get you down really low too, because I want you to see them. Okay, we'll first go with the Castle Art here. Make sure I'm in your way. And I'll do it like I did the other ones, and then lighten it as I come down. Just like that. Make sure we get it nice and dark on this side. Okay. Then we will take the Arteza. It's not going to be the exact same color, but it's going to be a little close. I just did this by eye, but I wanted to get, you know, the same-ish colors, oranges. Okay, so that is the difference when I'm doing the color swatching in the different zones. So if I was going this way, I would hold the pencil back farther and then try to darken this side up. It's a quicker way of doing it. And it doesn't hurt my wrist, so sometimes I will have it done this way. And sometimes I'll have it done the other way. So that's the difference between those. This particular color that I pulled out was number 16. So that's how different that one is there. This one is the pumpkin orange. So if I pulled that, that would be the difference there. Okay, that's on the cardstock, and we'll do the same thing on this paper. Go in with the Castle Art first. And then the Arteza. And we'll go this way too. And you can see with pushing different pressure on it or moving it in a different direction, holding the pencil differently will all react to how the pencil is laid down. This is a little bit toothier paper, but it's also thinner. I don't know what difference you're going to see between these. You'll probably see white here that you didn't see on this side. And again, these are like swatches. They're not like you're going to color in a coloring book in this manner. You would probably do the little tiny circles and lighter pressure and then blend with another color. You know, in that kind of mode, and go back in with a different color on top just to get it to blend. Now you'll notice that these two pencil sets are close in their creaminess and their color range that you could actually use them together and blend together. Okay, so we're going to go through the colors here. I have to put you back up so you can actually see them. So we have all the yellows down to a point, which I would go to about here, and then we have an extra one. We have the brownish tones showing up, and you're going to have a few more here on this side, but the brown set on the Castle Arts are going to be in the back. You'll have your orange to red pink tones down here. So these are the first 20 in the set. And then we'll turn the page. And we start with all the pinks here in the Castle Art. And we have all the reds here in the Artezas. Now we will flip this page over again, and our reds are just down here. So that's basically your reds, but you have a bunch of reds and deep garnets before you get down into like even these are more brown tones and then purples, but we have more red, deeper reds on that side. These are softer. Pinks are here. This is a red that you can find over there, pinks and purples here. So they're not set up the same in the patterns either, but we have our purples, and here is some purples down to some pinks. So you're going to have pink mixed here and purple here. Here are your blues, and then on the next page should be green. I can pull this one over. So you'll have a selection of greens. You've got the light greens. You've got the kind of turquoisey colors, the bright greens. Some of the greens that go into the browns here. This one does seem to have more greens in it, but we haven't gotten to the whole page here. Let's see. Yeah, so we're going to have more greens. The way the Castle Art was set up in the box, you had your basic colors, and then when you got up into the higher numbers, they added in more greens, more blues, more pink, purples, more reds. So kind of flipping back and forth between those colors. I got to keep this situated, because if I don't, I'm going to lose colors. Okay, that's the pink. I'm going to turn that. So greens and greens, and then you're going to run into more of the browns, more of these colors here. I have not redone these sets. This is the Arteza 72 set. So I didn't put the greens in with the greens. I didn't put the blues in with the blues, but you're going to have a few more little reds here, a little bit more purple, blues, turquoises, and different colored greens. Brown selection in the Castle Arts is basically here, if you're going to count this one, and in here. So you do have a deep, and you have some lights, and if you go to the yellows, you're going to have some brights, some beiges. So I have to keep this. This is something else over on this side. Color-wise, color choices. You practically got the same colors. You might have a little more of one color in the other set than you do in the other set, but you basically have the amount that you need. You have 120 colors. You're going to have the reds, you're going to have the yellows, you're going to have the oranges. Nobody has a whole bunch more, than the other, especially if you're running into the back. These kind of colors here are the more colors that I'm drawn to, the darker, deeper tones of the reds, the browns with a red tone to it, the deep, deep dark purples, that kind of thing. Now that they do have like a red wine, which could go in the purple tones. They've got the dark, dark, deep reds in the Arteza set. This again is something else. But deep dark purples, I was kind of stretching for. I mean, we got a royal purple. An indigo type blue was not as dark as I would have liked. But these are also a lighter set of pencils. This one has a deep dark blue. This is the Castle Arts. They have a deep purple, but it has a pink hue to it, which you could use as an advantage or a disadvantage depending on how you wanted to use that color. But because it has that, it's kind of a interesting color. And deep dark reds, they have like this barn red. So again, I don't get my depth of color with either one of these sets, but that's because I was spoiled with black raspberry and black grape, which these sets do not have. Okay? So what I'm going to do is a picture, and I'm going to use the Castle Arts on half of it and the Arteza in the other half. I'm going to show you the picture. I'm going to use these color charts because I have to. And it's a silly picture, but it's the one I'm going to do. It's a shoe with a cat as the heel. And I'm going to do the shoe kind of in a variegated coloring. So it'll start as one color and then go down into another. I'm going to leave the butterflies alone, not coloring those. And then I'll do the same kind of thing with the cat. So the shoe is going to have a dark, dark heel, and then it's where you put your heel, not the heel. And then it's going to lighten down into a red area. So kind of a dark wine color down into red. The cat is going to be kind of a, say, a dark coming up to a light or a dark coming down. It all depends on my mood when I get there. So I will get the camera down and we'll pick out some colors. Okay, so we're going to pull out some of these colors in the Arteza. Let's see, I've got espresso. If I can find that. Got chocolate brown. Espresso is missing out of this set. The cocoa brown is a good color. Hazelnut brown is also a good one because that can mix us into the reds. The wine red. And burgundy. And then we'll get kind of a cherry red. Cherry, 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 cherry. There we go. Okay. Those are my colors out of this section for the shoe. And then we'll put those away. And we'll pull out coloring for the cat. I have to put those pencils back too. Okay, kitty cat. Since we're going to have a kind of a black shoe, we want a lighter head here. And we'll see. We have kind of these colors in our brown. And yeah, I want a brown kitty. I want to kind of keep the colors a little bit like the same. So our brown section is numbered 100 and 100, 14, 15, 16, and 17. What did I say? 14, 15, 16, and 17. Yep. And then we probably should get 18. Kind of throw in some dark tones. So our colors for the kitty cat. Whoa! The other difference between these pencils, I mean, obviously this is a black with a color coding on the end. You will notice that this color on the lead is not this color up here. It semi-matches when you use it, but some of these don't match. Same as, you know, the other ones. They kind of look like they do, but they don't. The thickness of these, they're about the same. This one's a really smooth because it's a high gloss. This is a matte, so when you're coloring with them and say your hand gets sweaty, you can slip on these a little bit more than you can on these. It's a little hard, so where your finger is, it kind of sticks. I mean, it's not sticky or anything, but you know, it's not as smooth as this one. These Arteza have a color fast rating on them. You can take that as a grain of salt if you want. I don't follow the color fast rating on any of my pencils. I don't sell my work. I just color for fun, and I enjoy looking at them when they're done. So there's that. The Castle Arts got their name, tell you that they're soft, and they have a number. That's it on my set. Like I said, I think they have a set out there now that actually has a name to them. So we're going to go ahead and color with these. We're going to start with the shoe first. I want you to be able to see it, so we're going to get down just a little bit. Kind of angle it a little. Okay, we're going to put the dark colors up there first. I just have to make sure I got my colors in the order I want them. Okay, close these up. Open up the color chart. So I want the espresso brown, and it wasn't in the case. Oh, well, maybe I'll just go in with black. So we're going to start up at the heel up here. Move everything around and put down, this is the cocoa brown. Now on this paper, it's kind of a smooth paper, but it does have a little bit of tooth to it. Did I tell you what book this is? I probably didn't. So sorry about that. The book is A Million Cats. I'm sure it's the cat book. Double check. Yes. So it's A Million Cats by Lulu Mayo. Oops, sorry. So we're just going to lay this down and stop wiggling, camera. It's just a light layer here. And I have to work around the butterfly. going to go in with a little bit of the dark chocolate. Okay, then we're going to bring in the hazelnut. I just want to make sure we have all the color up here. Okay, and then we're going to bring in the wine red. Bring it on into the toe lightly. So I'm holding the pencil as far back as I can. Okay, then we're going to bring in the burgundy. Bring that color up here too. And then the cherry red. Okay, now that I have a base of color down, what we're going to do is darken our pressure here on these pencils and kind of burnish that into it. This is medium pressure now, and you'll notice that the color is getting a little more coverage on the page. I want to keep a light area for a highlight on the shoe. And remember, this is our lightest color here. I may bring in some white. We're going to go in with the burgundy now. I'm going to darken up some areas down here in the red area. And bring it up into the brownish area up here. I'm going to turn the book a little. And we're going to bring in the wine red. Darken the bottom of the shoe part here. Okay, we're going to go up. Then bring in the browns again to turn the book. Sorry. So this is the hazelnut. Sorry, I'm right-handed and those pencils just roll on my desk. I lay my arm on them and they go thump, thump, thump. Okay, then we're going to bring in the, which one was the darkest? The cocoa or the dark chocolate? I'm going to go with the dark chocolate here. Okay, and then, okay, I did find espresso, so I'm going to add that in here. So we're going to put a little bit in the back here. I probably will add some black back here too. So I want that nice and dark. Okay, now we have to blend this in just a bit more. I'm going to move my chair up a little closer. And we are going to grab a black from the Arteza set, and I'm going to darken this up just a bit more here. So I'm not pushing too hard down here because I want to see the colors through this, but I am putting it down so it'll darken that up. So making my own blend of color there. Going over that with espresso. There. Okay. Now we're just going to work on down. I do have a white pencil, I think. It's not my favorite. It's actually cream. Do we have white in the Arteza set? I'm looking. Here we go. White quartz. So I'm going to throw the white in here to give us our shadow or shine marks. Okay. Turn shoe. I tend to use my finger to, if you were noticing, you get these shiny marks when you're using your pencil, and that's the wax that's coming up. And I want to get rid of those while I'm coloring, so I just use my finger and use the heat of my hand and melt it a tiny bit just to blend it in. So just going to darken that up a little bit coming downward. So this is just the black, just kind of going on the edge. So I want to give some depth to that area. If you were stepping on this shoe, it would be close to the ground. Your heel would probably show a little bit. The sole of your shoe, I'm sorry, not your heel. And that just kind of gives it a nice little shadow down there. We're going to go in with the red wine on top of that. And blend it up. Pull a little bit more of that color up with her a little bit. Then we're going to put some of it up here. Not much. Next color was the burgundy, which is a brighter color. Putting a little more pressure on this so it kind of burnishes the color into the paper. and now our lightest color, which is the cherry red. And our white. Kind of get a little shine going here too. And we'll bring that up here. Okay, you just want to double check to make sure that you have all the color down you want. Make sure you don't have any white showing. What color am I using here? This is the burgundy. Just going to bring it up on top of that white. And then we'll go in with the wine red again. Darken it a little more up here. Then a touch of the black here too. Okay. So far, that's what we got. I may mess around with that a little more, but a little more black here. And up here. All right. Not bad for what I was trying to get. We're going to switch pencils. Get those off the desk. And we're going to go with the Castle Arts. Switch my supply thingy here. Make sure we've got my browns. They're in here somewhere. There we go. Okay, so just numerically down, I guess, because we have no names. So 14 is our lightest and 18 is our darkest. So there we go. We're going to start with 14 and give our kitty some color here. So again, we're going to go light, pressure, and then add more pressure if we need it, so when we need it. Little kitty. But it doesn't feel so good to have a big old shoe on your head, does it? No rhyme or reason for the kitty. We're just going to get brown on him and darken some areas and lighten some areas. And since this is our lightest color, we're putting down our highlights first. Okay, next color, number 15. Where's 15? 15. Should be a little darker. Okay, it's time for 16. 14, where's 16? Didn't I get a 16? 15? 16. Okay, it's supposed to be darker. Okay, then we'll go to 17. And we're just building up these colors. We're going to go back to 14, 16. See, the lightest color has got a darker top than the 16 we just used. But this is way lighter. We're going to get a little more fur up here. And the reason I'm doing the kitty in a soft coloring, no fur lines, is because I want to show you the difference between the two pencils softly. So there's no texture. I'll put a little white on his chin, I think. I'm putting a little more pressure on it now. Blending it out. Okay, our darkest color here is number 118. It's kind of a grayish color. Add those in the darkest areas here. Okay, and then we have to get out a white. Usually when I do white, I just get a Prisma and I grab it and use it. Oh, yes, white. Do we have a white in the castle? I have one which is kind of a creamy yellow. 73, which is kind of a creamy yellow. Doesn't really bother me that I don't have a white. 72 is white. It's like I say, I usually just use the Prism white. Hopefully this is white. It's as white as I got in this set. So we go down where we have our lightest areas here. Just blend that in and go over it. With the other pencils, just to blend that in just a little bit better. Okay, number 14. That's 16, 14. Just laying that over the white. Soften up the edges there. Going to darken it here at the ankles. We're going to leave those little feet white. Okay. Rub that in with my finger. So now you've kind of had a look at both of the pencils and how they lay down. I'm going to turn these lights on so you can actually see the coloration in there. These bright lights sometimes are just a bit much for me. Now, when I'm coloring with these, like I said, I usually use a little bit of, say, white Prisma, just to lighten up some areas here and blend that just a teeny bit more to get a little extra white in there. Highlight some areas a little bit more. It's just this pencil goes over everything just a little nicer. All wax-based pencils. And little white toes. Now I'm going to throw in his eyes a little bit better. So I'm just taking a black micron pen here, and hopefully I don't get my face in the camera there too much. Just gonna darken those up. Add his nose in a little better. Gonna give him a little pupil in this eye. Accentuate his little ear a little more. And of course, what is a cat without little whiskers? So we're going to pull out, well, I'm going to try to pull out some whiskers. Sorry if my head's in the way. Probably got that one right out of his eye. I'll throw a couple up here too. All right. I do want a little darker up on that heel. So what do we have in black in the Arteza? I'm going to darken this up a little. We can't do that. We are just using the other cut. Well, why not? See how they work together. Throw a little of the black Arteza down here on the cat's tail. And a little more in the shadow area here. And down here in the shoe. There we go. We'll also use a Caran d'Ache blender here to see if we can get this blended up here a little bit better. Just kind of run it around. Pull it down. And there you go. If you have anything outside the lines, you can always use one of your little eraser guys here, as long as it doesn't have a different color on it, like mine always does. Yep, bright blue. You know, erase some of that if you like. If you want to put in a little brighter highlight, you can use that to erase some lines here and brighten them up. And then just go over with the lightest red that you had out, which is this one. And just add that little highlight in there. That way. There's a whole bunch of different little tricks you can use to do that. Straighten up your line again. Add that red up here to the black and the browns too, if you like. Just keep playing with it until you like it. It's a little burgundy. And then a little of the wine red. Anyway, I can play with this forever. Kind of like how the cat is. There. Then we'll have to erase all the pink out of those flowers, or the butterflies too. So those are the two different colors. If you want to get down and look a little closer at how they're blending, their color values. What I'm going to go ahead and do is throw a background on here, color those butterflies really quick, and maybe throw a little splatter on there, and then we will be done with this picture. If I put ink on it, I might just use a little chalk pastels on the back. I got a really pretty one in the mail. Thank you to my subscriber. It's a, what is it called now? It's the magenta tint, and I think that would be really pretty in the background here, and we'll just throw some quick color on those butterflies. Don't want them pink. Let's see, just throw up a purple on there or something. Purple would look nice, maybe. Maybe. Or blue. Ooh, blue. Do I have my blue pencils? I was asked how I did a blue roof, and I did it with these two pencils, so I'll show you on the butterflies. We'll make blue butterflies. I'll just sharpen that up. Why not make the video a little longer, right? Okay. These are the Arteza ultramarine blue and the sky blue. And basically all I did was, and we're going to go on this little butterfly here, is take the ultramarine and put that down. A little dark towards the center, and then just bring it out nice and lightly. Okay, then you take the sky blue and you're going to put it in and pull it into the lighter or the darker blue. And then I brought in some, you guessed it, Prisma white. Just lightened up the tips. Darkened up the blue over again. It's a really heavy pressure there. Just lighten it coming out again. I know this butterfly's got a body in there somewhere. And then took a little black and just added a touch in there. I'm going to bring the black out here into those wings out there, because they get a little sloppy out here. I'm sorry if my head is getting in the camera. There we go. Darken up that blue a little more down on the side here. Bring it right into the black. And if you want, that one's not open. I'm going to put the little white dots back in there. See if this works. Yeah, I don't think that one will work. It's too light. Try this one. Yep, we're gonna get a Pasco. And where's one of those? Oh. Here we go. Okay, we'll try this one. There we go. Something like that. So we'll do the butterflies like that. Then I'll finish those up and give it a nice little pastel background. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed and see the difference between the two pencils. Depending on how you use them and what colors you like are your deciding factors on which set you should get. Like I said, I can't tell you which set I prefer. I use them both the same. So, I mean, they're both creamy, they're both nice, they both have a nice selection of colors. It depends if you want a deep, dark set of colors, if you want a light, bright set of colors. I tend to use the darker set of pencils in both of the sets, so doesn't help you out much on that one. But at least I've given you kind of a side-by-side comparison. Arteza Castle Art. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll send or get a picture up at the end of the video of this whole finished picture. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now. Take care. Haha, you thought you got rid of me. I went ahead and laid down the little pan pastel here, and I just used this brush, dabbed it in there, and rubbed it around. And if you notice these little white dots, I don't know if I've showed this, but I just used my little circle thing here. And because this is pan pastels and I have not put a fixative on it yet, you can erase it. So I'm just sticking the little thing down and holding it with my eraser. I go around the circle, erase out what's in the center of it. Try to get all of it before you remove it. And then you have a nice little circle put down. And I'm going to put a couple of these on here. If I'm going to do a half a circle, I just kind of pick one that I like the size of, set it down, go around the shoe part here, and then go around and then clean out what's in here. And there you've got that one. So I'm just going to go around and put some circles. I decided putting splatters is just not something I wanted to do today. So I'm just going to go around and put down a bunch of little white circles on here. Kind of fun pattern, different sizes. There'll be different shades because of the different shades of pastel that I put down on here. I'm going to put a little one over here. If you get a little miscoloration on your little guy, just take your lightest color, whichever it was, and go back over it. Color him back in. You're fine. So that's all I'm going to do on the end of this, and then I will go down and spray this and take a picture of it and stick it at the end of the video. Just kind of gives you a fun, different background. So I thought I'd let you see it. Okay, guys, take care. Bye.